So what are some workarounds if you don't qualify for residency, particularly here, for example, in Mexico? A lot of people are giving up on their dreams of living abroad because they don't meet the financial requirements to get residency, and they just giving up altogether. So today I'm going to talk briefly about an alternative that may or may not work for you, but it doesn't mean you have to give up your dreams. So I'm gonna flip the camera around so you're not looking at my beautiful mug. Just got through eating and my teeth are all stained and yellow and all that stuff. So listen to this, let's figure it out. So before I start, I'm out here at La Isla Mall, which is a popular mall here in Merida, Mexico, Merida, Yucatan, Mexico. We're in the south part of Mexico. Very beautiful, and as you can see, many parts of the city is very modern. Those are some high-end condominiums, apartments over there. They just, one or two of them wasn't there like 4 years ago. It didn't exist. Those over there didn't exist. So this kind of shows you how quick the city is growing. This here is a little water park out here behind the mall. They got some little kayaks you can get into, a lift that brings you over the ramp over here on the water. And so, you know, you just have a good old time. There used to be a small little amusement park over here, but look like they're turning that into something else over there. And, you know, little park down here. And as you go further down this little boardwalk, Malakoff, to check that guy out right there. This is what they doing in Mexico. This is at the mall. You know what I'm saying? This is at the mall. So when folks tell you that, you know, this is a third world country, there ain't nothing happening out here, show them this video, because I might hit, this is the food court outside at the mall. And as you go further down the sidewalk here, there's a bunch of restaurants with outside seating and whatnot, so you can just sit out here and enjoy. Very beautiful at nighttime. And like I say, a very modern place, man. Don't let folks get in your head and think that your quality of life is going to decline when you move to Mexico. And in a moment after we get through talking, I'm going to take you through the mall and just show you a couple of things, just so you can see that you don't have to stay where you're at. Now, if you don't meet financial requirements, I'm just going to keep the camera on this side. If you don't meet financial requirements, what can you do? Mexico has a generous tourist visa, for lack of a better word, just keeping it simple, whereby generally when you come visit, they will generally give you 6 months. And 6 months is a long time. That's a lot of time for you to get away, because a lot of folks have been calling and emailing me and saying, hey man, I got to get out of the States. It's getting crazy over here and I just need a break. I need to reset. And so 6 months is a long time for you to do that. And so if you can come and stay for 6 months, that's a beautiful thing. Now, I know you say, well, what happens when the 6 months expire? I got to leave. And so we'll talk about that in a moment. But I'm going to be frank with y'all, because a lot of people don't talk about this. They don't tell you the whole story about folks moving to Mexico. The overwhelming majority of folks who pack it up and leave the States and come to live in Mexico and other foreign countries, they don't make it. The vast majority of them don't make it. They generally hit it right back home. Many right after they got here, 3, 4, 6 months in, they out. 12 months later, many more are out. 18 months later, 2-year mark, they're out. So it's looking at the history and breaking down the statistics of the number of folk that actually come and the number of folk that leave and the few that actually stay behind. They just learn from what they're doing. Most of them ain't gonna make it anyway, have not made it anyway. So knowing that in advance, what can you do to increase the odds of you successfully staying? Do what I said a moment ago. Come stay here for 6 months. If you're gonna get 6 months, come stay for 6 months, and even to determine if you even gonna survive. Because there's a good chance that you probably ain't. Most of you ain't. So come for 6 months. You don't have to get a residency. You don't have to qualify financially to come stay here for 6 months. I would even encourage you to come stay for 6 months. And if you end up liking it, or you want to go explore some other places, when those 6 months are up, hop over to another country. Stay somewhere else for 6 months. I'd actually encourage you to check out multiple places, a couple of countries, and go see this stuff for yourself. Don't rely on solely the stuff that you found online and on YouTube and whatnot. Go see these places for yourself. 6 months is a long time in Mexico. Then go to some place like Panama for 3 months or 6 months. Go to some places in Colombia. There's very safe places in Colombia. Well, a few that I'm aware of, that I know about for sure. Go stay there for 3 to 6 months. I know a lot of places don't give you 6 months off the bat, but places like Colombia, for example, you generally get 3 months, and then you can go pay a small fee and get an extension for another 90 days. But even then, their visa requirements have changed. It's a little easier. You can get more time than when I was back there 8 years ago when we were living there full time. So there's other places, again, there's other countries, Paraguay, Uruguay. A lot of folks are talking about Bolivia, places in Central America that you can go to, places in Belize. There's many other places that you can go. Go check it out. So if you get 6 months in Mexico, and then you go stay somewhere else for 6 months, that's a year. You got a year break. You got a year relief. You got some experience under your belt. Now you start to have a better idea where you want to go. And if you end up saying Mexico's my spot, then come back. You likely get another 6 months, stay another 6 months, and and trust and believe that opportunities for you to get residency will present themselves. I'm gonna tell you this: when we first got here, when we first arrived, we didn't qualify for residency. In all honesty, I didn't know anything about residency. I didn't do my homework. I was just like, we're gonna go there for them 6 months, and it was never our intention to stay here this long. It was just to our plan was to travel and bounce around the world and just kind of figure things out and live around the world a little bit. But everybody got sick and whatnot. But that's another story. But it was never intended to stay in Mexico long term. But my point in saying that and bringing that up is sometimes, and again, I didn't know anything about residency, didn't investigate it. I knew I would get about 6 months upon initial entry. And what I find, and because I've always made a bunch of boneheaded moves and mistakes without doing a lot of research, but what I've always found is just in the act of going out there and in the act of starting and taking the first step, doors and opportunities presented themselves that I would not have otherwise gotten access to. So while we were here, there was a special residency program called the regularization program that allowed us to qualify after 2 years, allowed us to qualify for residency without having to go back to the States to start the process, and no financial solvency requirements were required. No financial income or proof of income or proof of work, none of that was required for this particular residency. They ended that program this year, but some speculate that it will eventually make its way back at some point. And so that's why I say it's important just to get started, get going. And, you just don't know. Opportunities and doors open, programs come and go. Things change all the time. You just can't predict what's going to happen. So 6 months, come check out the place. Live here for 6 months. Most places generally want a year lease, but yeah, you can find some places that'll give you 6 months. You're going to require a little more work to get the 6 month lease, but that's here or there. But again, it depends on what your goals are, what your reasons are, and 6 months is a long time. You could do a lot of things. Again, 6 months here, 6 months somewhere else, 6 months somewhere else. Go check out the world, especially if it's just one or two of you. It's even easier. I understand if you have a family and you want a little bit more stability, but I met a lot of families that have these families with 3 kids and 5 kids. I've seen them travel all over the world for like 5 years. taking the kids all over the world, exploring and seeing different things. And they will stay in these countries for like 3 to 6 months at a time, and then they go somewhere else. And they timed it out in such a manner so that by the time they finish traveling, their 2 older kids would be going into college. And the goal was for them to go to college internationally. I think one of them is now in college in Germany, and the other one is in college. I can't remember the name of the other college, but the countries they were in, college education was free. They didn't have to pay. So that was part of their plan. They did the research. You know what I mean? So, man, don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in what you don't qualify for and quit and give up on your dreams. There's multiple ways to live abroad and still thrive. And man, it's so many things you can do and so many places you can go. So don't quit just yet. Look at that. These are kids having fun. Now, I'm gonna go inside in a moment just to show you what the inside look like. And this is good living out here. We're in the northern part of the city. It's not like the typical neighborhoods in other parts of Merida, but there's some very modern parts and whatnot. So before I go inside, I'm going to say, if you'd like to talk with me, book a consultation at the website moveabroadandthrive.com. Also, consider becoming a VIP member inside our group. You can post and ask questions you want, get feedback from other members. And many of our members have traveled to different places all over the world, can share insight with you. Also, there's a section there called Ask Cortez, and you can post all the questions you want directly to me, and I generally answer those questions within 48 to 72 hours. So let's go inside and see what's going on. So this is the food court here. They have Chinese food, they have sushi, you see all of that. They have Italian food, they have chicken. They got a little bit of everything. Now, this is a smaller food court in this particular mall because, like I said earlier, all the restaurants are on the back side of this mall on the outside. Very nice place. These little horses, kids rent these horses and they ride them all around the mall. This here is a movie theater, and they have VIP seating in here, and you can eat food in these theaters. Chicken sandwiches, club sandwiches, pizza, hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, hamburgers, wine, margaritas. They have it all. Like you see this little kiosk right here. Very affordable to rent in the malls. Very cheap to get, very affordable to get something like that made for your stuff. So if you wanted to sell stuff and kind of start your business and just kind of sell some things here, you can. Now, like on the weekend, you see all those little carts over there, the vendor carts. On the weekend, the vendors come out here and they can sell their handmade crafts and stuff like that here at the mall, typically Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. There's a lady here that sells, she go buy all these candies from the United States, and then she sells them at her booth. And so you got kind of a variety of all kinds of stuff. A lot of this stuff, like I said, handcrafted, made, and you'll generally see kiosks like this in many of the malls as well. That arcade restaurant game bar you see right across the way. It's a restaurant, you order food, and then at each table they have these different kind of game kiosks there where you can play all the old school games at the table while enjoying a meal. Right there, they have a high-end barber shop. You can go in there and get a fresh cut, fresh shave, and you can even get a tattoo done as well. Here's a bookstore. They have a small English section, so I generally come in here to check it out from time to time. So at the malls here in Mexico, you can generally do everything you need at the mall. So for example, here, that's a mattress store. You come here and you can buy your mattresses. There's other malls where they have full-blown furniture stores inside where you can come buy all the furniture for your house. So that means they really make good use of these malls and pretty much get everything that you need from the inside as well. Also, so like this place here, this is a cap shop. So for y'all that like those hats, the flat tip or whatever, fat snapback hats or whatever, I forget what y'all call them. They got like a couple of stores that do that. Liverpool over there, it's a department store, both upstairs and downstairs, like a Macy's in the United States. Very nice stuff on the inside. They have furniture, clothes, jewelry, electronics. Like I say, it's like a Macy's. They have everything you need as well. That over there is a little VR, virtual reality station there. You can play some games on that and ride and whatnot. So like I say, they got a lot of stuff that we got in the States. A little train ride that takes you around the mall. Yogurt shop right over there. They got these little cars that you can rent. I see a little girl riding in the little car. You can rent those and you can ride them all around the mall. And it look like the mom has a remote control in her hand so she can control it for the kid. So I mean, like, you ain't missing nothing by living here. And look at this stuff. It's high-tech stuff here. Virtual VR, virtual reality. Look at the little motorbike over there. Real nice stuff out here. Got AT&T, and also you have local cell phone providers like Telcel. Here's a small furniture store here inside the mall. If you don't want to ride the horses around the mall, you can come out here and pick a dinosaur. All right, you can see there's a Mac store right across the way right over there. Apple products, all the Apple products you can need. Official Apple partner. Trying to think if I should go outside. It's hot out there, y'all. I don't know. Let me go outside just to show y'all. I made a video about this place already before. So let me go outside and let y'all see what this stuff look like, particularly the restaurants in the back. Definitely got to check this out at night. So when you first come outside, you see a little sign that pointing you to the different areas over here. They even got a Brazilian restaurant on the inside. Now it's the middle of the day right now, so there's not a lot of people out. It's just prime time when it's hot outside, but you got everything you need, and come out here in the evening hours, place is going to be packed full of people. So that's a little Malecone, like a little boardwalk that goes along all the way down the length of the mall. In a minute, you'll start to see some of the restaurants that I was talking about on the outside. All right, so there are a few restaurants that you see here. Chicago's Pizza, Panic Botanic, Cava Salamanca. There's a Japanese restaurant over there as well. And it looks like they're gonna start putting some more down here further down. But again, you have to see this at night because it's real pretty. It lights up extremely well. And they got a lot of seating out here so you can just sit back and watch folks at the water park and all of that. As you can see, there's a few folks out here already just kind of sitting back, hanging out, watching. Another restaurant here called Mia Mama. Haven't eaten it here. Might have to check it out one day. This place here, I can't remember the name of it, but they have some really nice pizza and some really nice pasta. There's a Brazilian restaurant right here. And like I say, just an area for kids to hang out and play. This is that pizza pasta place that we saw from outside. Got a Krispy Kreme, Sunglass Hut, so if you want the high-end shades and all of that, you can definitely get that for sure. So this is the outside of the mall. You can see part of it, at least from the front. And across the street, there's a building over there at the Holiday Inn Express on the northern part of the city. And again, we're out here in Merida. And check that out. That's an Amazon Prime truck driving by. So for those of y'all that wonder if Amazon deliver, absolutely they deliver. So I hope you found that helpful. If you have questions, let's talk. Visit our website, join our free newsletter, moveabroadandthrive.com, get on our email list for free resources about moving and living abroad. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.